The Imitation of Christ, Book 2, Chapter 4, on purity of mind and simplicity of purpose. There are two things that raise a man above earthly things, simplicity and purity. Simplicity must inspire his purpose, and purity his affection. Simplicity reaches out after God. Purity discovers and enjoys him. No good deed will prove an obstacle to you if you are inwardly free from uncontrolled desires. And if you are free from uncontrolled desires and seek nothing but the will of God and the good of your neighbor, you will enjoy this inner freedom. If your heart be right, then every created thing will become for you a mirror of life and a book of holy teaching, for there is nothing created so small and mean that it does not reflect the goodness of God. Were you inwardly good and pure, you would see and understand all things clearly and without difficulty. A pure heart penetrates both heaven and hell. As each man is in himself, so does he judge outward things. If there is any joy to be had if there is any joy to be had in this world, the pure in heart most surely possess it. And if there is trouble and distress anywhere, Romans 2:9, the evil conscience most readily experiences it. Just as iron, when plunged into fire, loses its rust and becomes bright and glowing, so the man who turns himself wholly to God loses his sloth and becomes transformed into a new creature. When a man begins to grow dull and lukewarm in spirit, even the smallest labor distresses him, and he eagerly welcomes any worldly comfort. But when he begins to overcome self and advance manfully in God's way, then he regards as nothing those labors which he previously found so burdensome. Chapter 5, on knowing ourselves. We may not trust overmuch in ourselves, for we often lack grace and understanding. There is little light in us, and even this we easily lose through carelessness. Moreover, we often do not realize how blind we are. We often do evil, and we do worse in excusing ourselves. Sometimes we are moved by passion and mistake it for zeal. We rebuke small faults in others, but overlook greater faults in ourselves. Matthew chapter 7, verse 5. We are too quick to resent and feel what we suffer from others, but fail to consider how much others suffer from us. Whoever considers his own defects fully and honestly will find no reason to judge others harshly. The spiritual man puts the care of his soul before all else. Matthew chapter 16, verse 26. And whoever diligently attends to his own affairs is ready to keep silence about others. You will never become interior and devout unless you refrain from the criticism of others and pay attention to yourself. If you are wholly intent on God and yourself, you will be little affected by anything outside this. 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. Where are you when you fail to attend to yourself? And when you have occupied yourself in countless affairs, what have you gained if you have neglected your soul? Mark chapter 8, verse 36. If you really desire true peace and union with God, Attend to yourself and set aside all else. Keep yourself free from all worldly entanglement, and you will make good progress. But if you set great value on any worldly things, it will prove a great obstacle. Let nothing be great, pleasant, or desirable to you, save God alone, and whatever comes of God. Regard as empty comfort all things that derive from creatures. The soul that loves God regards as worthless all things other than God. God alone is eternal and immeasurable, filling all things. Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 24. He alone is the true comfort of the soul and joy of the heart.